one and all. Back to another edition of the That Comedy Podcast. I am your host, DJ Marcus, and you are joining me live in the That Comedy Studios. I'm never alone. I'm with my boy, Joey LoFaro. Joe, say hello to the people.
Hey there, hey now.
And we also have Miss Pretty Funny herself. She is up in the state of New Jersey, gambling her heart out. She does big things because she's a big woman. Kandyce August, welcome back to the show. What was that, Kandyce?
I can't stand you.
You can't stand me.
Why would you do that?
Why would I do what?
Why'd you do that way?
What did I do?
Really?
What did I do?
Exactly.
What did I do? Did I say it like McNulty yet?
Yeah, no.
Am I more like McNulty?
No one likes you, Marcus.
Everyone likes me except Lizzo. You know why Lizzo doesn't like me, Joey?
Why?
Because her titties are trying to run away from her body. looking like a Thanksgiving turkey. Hey, folks! It is the Dot Comedy team. We are back in the building. Hey, man, it's a new week, Joey.
Yeah.
The Dot Comedy Podcast is back. We want to thank our special guest last week, Mr. Phil Price.
What?
What's his name? Phil Price.
Phil Page?
For Page. Okay. Hey, either I get it right during the show or I never get it right again. It's one of those things, man. It's part of life now. Phil Page, thank you, sir, for coming on the show last week. We had a blast with you. We got some special guests coming up in the next couple of weeks. Joey, who we got coming up in the next couple of weeks, man?
We have comedian Nick Snow coming up next week.
Nick Snow?
Yes.
He got that blow?
She will be joining us.
Oh.
Next week to talk about stand-up in the local area.
Okay, so it's a lady comedian.
Yes. And then
she got the snow.
Following week, we'll be joined by comedian and social activist Charity Sade.
Okay. Damn it, Joey.
What?
You're just trying to get me fucked up. I know.
What are you mad at me for?
Bringing in community activists and shit on this podcast. You know this podcast is not made for that.
I'm trying to do the right things that I think I should do
by people.
I try to do good sometimes. Do gooder.
Oh God, Kandyce.
What, Marcus?
You mad at me? I'm sorry. You're still my friend.
Oh my God, you're a terrible person.
You know what? Hey Joey, I'm gonna kick. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna kick this week in Dot Comedy off. You know what I'm gonna say?
What are you gonna say?
I'm gonna do the right thing. Okay, you know what
I'm you?
All right, let's see if it works. Okay, let's do it. We had a celebration this week, Joey. Another year younger. The lovely and talented Miss Pretty Funny herself, Kandyce August, celebrated another birthday, and we are so happy about it. I am proud of you, Kandyce. I am happy that you've made it another year. You made it out of the pandemic. I know your birthday was in the middle of last year's, but I want you to understand that I, DJ Marcus, am wishing you the happiest of birthdays. I know when you get to a certain age, they kind of all blend together. And I want you to understand that we, through your golden years, will be here with you to give you what you need as a family that is right here. Just like Vin Diesel said, we're family. We are family, Kandyce. We're family. And you know what, Joey? Joey, you know what I want to say? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I can't play the song anymore.
A long time. You didn't realize that intro was that long.
I did not. I may have passed that.
A lot of padding.
I may have passed that 45-second rule.
That was a cell in an institution. The padding on that was so long.
And but Kandyce, congratulations, happy birthday to you, my dear. We are happy
Thank you so much.
we're happy that you were able to celebrate and continue on doing what God has you do, which is make people laugh.
Yes, absolutely.
You do anything?
Have great birthday.
You do anything special for your birthday other than watch the fireworks?
Yeah, so Hassan bought I love fireworks. Obviously, my birthday being July 5th, fireworks are always something that has been incorporated in my birthday, right? Because I'll just party for that whole weekend. So
Okay.
I love fireworks, and Hassan took me on like this firework cruise on the Hudson, where you see the light show like right up close underneath it. It's beautiful, so awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, I would. It's a really great date idea. I would really recommend it if you're trying to be impressive.
So wait a whole year and have a date. Let's keep
Well,
Kansas.
they do it for New Year's too.
Okay, how much does that run?
It's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
So
the
like-
New Year's one could be the move. Better than doing Times
Yeah.
Square. Times Square is stupid, but doing it on a boat
Doing it on a boat.
with fireworks.
Doing it on a boat with fireworks above you. That's like hitting a home run.
And they have open bar. Like when you pay your entry, there's an open bar, and like
That's
there's
the
a
move.
DJ in the inside. It's pretty cool.
All right, I think that might be
Highly recommend.
okay.
It might have to be something.
Happy New Year 2022. There won't be any, I guess, no DJ Marcus and Joey LoFaro pictures. Another year.
I can't the next 4th of July. I need to bring back the barbecue extravaganza.
Extravaganza.
4th of Joey barbecue. Damn it!
4th of July.
I had something. Oh, that's good. That's better. I'm gonna go with that one.
4th of
It
Joe
was right
barbecue.
there. It was right there, Joey.
I didn't have that one. I wasn't close.
4th of Joe barbecue.
I was trying to do a Joey Q of some sort and just didn't.
Or
No, 4th of July.
4th of July barbecue extravaganza.
That's going to happen next year.
We'll be back.
We coming back next year.
Coming
All right.
back next year.
All right, man. Hey, I found
We're gonna do it on top of your parking garage. We're gonna steal the top of the parking garage, and everybody's gonna be like, "Hey, you can't do that." We're like, "Haha, get us off of here. Have a beer.
make us leave, have a beer. I did find
eat this rib. Shut up. Be happy."
I did find that is quite possibly the best place to watch fireworks in this area is the parking garage in my neighborhood because it's actually above everything. I didn't know my building was the biggest building in College Park because it sits literally above every other building. So I see all the fireworks from University of Maryland, from the Beltsville, I can see Laurel's fireworks from my apartment. I was like, Jesus Christ, what the hell am I looking for? And it was just it was bombs blowing off everywhere and then smoke. And I saw a video of a fireworks stand that blew up because someone lit a cigarette. And then the fireworks stand
in Ocean City. Did you see that?
I think it was Ocean City.
Oh, is that what?
Oh, that was bad.
Is that what Blue tried to send me?
Yeah. Well, that's Blue. Blue probably did it with the Roman candle. Once again, it's Blue in the conservatory with a Roman candle. That's how New Year, how 4th of July ended.
Oh my God!
For some people. Oh man, but yeah, man, it was the 4th this week. We had the scaled down barbecue at Joey's.
We had the pilot for the relaunch. We had the reboot pilot.
We had the soft launch.
With the soft launch. We had a baby back ribs slow launch.
Yeah, it was good though, man. You did a good job on them ribs. I was thoroughly impressed. And I am impressed usually by your food because I think your food's trash. It's just how my palate is. My palate doesn't like everything you cook.
God damn.
I'm not saying Joey's a bad cook. Joey does good food. He makes great food. It's just when I eat it, it's not good food.
Here's the thing.
It's not for me.
Marcus is used to
garbage.
No, that's not true. Not true.
The craft and
See, fuck you. See, that's the problem I have with you right there.
He eats out of a box, basically.
No, I don't. No, I don't all the time. there are box days. But
80%,
I mean
80% of the time?
No. Joey's seen me make great meals.
He does. 75%.
No. Here's he's more on like he has a set list of a set lane of what he's comfortable with, and I'm in the, hey, I want to try random fucking things that don't seem like they go together. And so it's a conflicting philosophy. And so if I can get him to eat something that I've made, it's a win.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I'm more on the foodie, trying that crazy stuff.
Yeah, he's on the $100 for one little ramekin of food plate thing. I'm at mom's barbecue, having soul food and ribs and being happy with life. Joey's out there mixing.
I got to be Italian and worldly.
Hey, Africans made the world.
Yeah, and you don't like African food.
I hate African food. It's the worst shit ever. Spices that don't go together, and then parts that you're not supposed to eat.
I watched High on the Hog, which is basically the history of black cooking in America, and there was like about half of the food in there I knew would not be on your plate.
It would never cross my lips. It would like I said, I spent Juneteenth eating the pizza, the hog that the rest of my ancestors weren't able to eat, so I had ribs. Oh man! So what else did you do? Anything else this weekend for the 4th of July, Ken? I know you had.
No, that was about it. On my birthday, which was the 5th on Monday, I actually just worked the whole day. Nothing special.
Oh, well, that sucks. Joey was all work.
Yes, I ate good this weekend, and then I paid for it. Today, I just spent recovering from eating good this weekend.
I mean, I was off the weekend, so I just spent time with my daughter. Spent time with family. Went to church. But it wasn't like this. Like 4th of July for me is not a fun time anymore. Like, I don't have fun with it anymore as like I used to. Like I used to make plans.
That's because I'm not having massive barbecues with nonsense.
It has nothing zero zip should teach you. It's just not fun as it used to be. Family doesn't get together like we used to. All the kids are all grown up. The only baby is my daughter. So like when I go, all right, we're gonna blow up fireworks, it's just her watching me take money and burn it in the backyard. I ain't got time for that. If it was like 6 kids, oh yeah, that's all eyes. Oh shit, yeah. But if it's just her going, yay, daddy. I let that shit just be. But yeah, so we had pizza and watched fireworks from the rooftop. I think that was a good night for us. But man, it's been a week in that comedy. It is going to be a fun summer, man. This is the summer of BHHS. That's what. You don't know what BHHS is?
I do not.
It's called that bald-headed hoe shit, baby.
Oh yeah, okay.
Candace down with it.
I'm about to cut these locks. I'm gonna be on some bald-headed hoe shit my damn self.
Hey, come on down and run the town with us, baby. We're gonna do it.
Change the name of the podcast.
The bald-headed hoe cast.
The bald-headed hoe cast.
Oh man, but yeah, man, it's gonna be it's the summer of Marcus. George had the summer of George. I have the summer of Marcus. I'm doing good things. I'm gonna do big things, Joey. Yeah. By fall 2021, you're gonna see a different guy.
Okay.
I'm going vegan. I'm going pescatarian. The end of summer.
You will lie.
Yeah, I'm going pescatarian. Only fish.
All right.
I will do my best to support you in that endeavor.
It's fish and salads. For 90 days.
I mean, I'm gonna still eat meat, but I'll
support me.
I'll be supportive.
Okay, well, hell, you can support me all damn day.
I'll help you cheat when you're struggling. I'll just make some fish in bacon grease so you can feel a little.
It's like you go
more
fry.
Human.
You gonna fry my fish in bacon grease so I feel better about it. You can boil fish, bake fish, fry fish. You can do all types of shit with fish. I'm good with fish.
Okay.
I'm gonna have some good fish time this week.
I tried to convince myself of that once. It didn't go well.
It didn't?
It didn't last.
Hassan just made some baked salmon. It shit is delicious.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting ready to do some stuff with salmon tomorrow.
You want to smoke some?
No.
Just smoke some salmon.
I have, but it doesn't You mean like smoked salmon, like lox, or you mean like cooked on a smoker?
Cooked on a smoker.
I've done that, but it's hard to keep it moist. It's hard to get the flavor in there, but also keep it moist. Because if you want to keep it moist, you got to put a foil around it, and then the flavor doesn't get through. So you have to kind of it gets tricky. What I'm planning to do is I'm gonna make some I'm gonna do a fried rice thing with like a cilantro lemon butter sauce.
Okay.
So it'll be like a salmon fried rice.
I'm feeling that. I made sausage and rice tonight. Came out good. Oh man, but I'm talking about food entirely too goddamn much on the Dot Comedy Podcast. Food.comedy is coming soon. We will be doing a food. We're having a food show on the YouTubes. Am I correct, Joey? We're working on.
We're announcing that now.
We're still in the developmental phases, so don't look for it tomorrow. But we will take the domains down this week for food.comedy.
Kandyce. So here's what happened. I didn't have a new project to start this week, so I came up with this one.
Pretty fucking much. That's how it all worked out. Oh man. But yeah, man. So we're gonna take a quick break, Joey.
Okay.
What's going on in the world, man?
A lot of shit happened this week. It was a crazy week. There's a Bill Cosby's out and about.
Is he out?
Yes, I believe he is.
Okay.
And then there was we hit a brick wall with one of our Olympians.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a bunch of celebrity nonsense.
Okay.
Something about pettiness and a dick and some other shit. We'll get into it.
These nuts is always doing some crazy shit, man. But we'll be back with a whole bunch of that and a whole bunch more right here on the Dot Comedy Podcast.
And the blood will dry underneath my nails, and the wind will rise up to fill my sails. So you can doubt and you can hate, but I know no matter what it takes, I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home.
And this segment of Dot Comedy Podcast is brought to you by
all the pain of yesterday. I know my kingdom awaits, and they forgive.
I don't know.
I just sent you something.
I just blanked. You sent it to me right in the middle of the damn song. It threw me off. I hate when you do that. But we're back on the Dot Comedy Podcast. We're going to take another break in a minute. We'll get to our sponsors in a fucking minute. I hate when you do that type of shit. It throws me off. My head is already spinning.
I was trying to get you to think of it telepathically, but that didn't seem to be working.
Oh, man. We're back on the Dot Comedy Podcast, and that song was specifically requested from our email line. Yes, we do have emails back in full effect. We did get an email this week from a long time listener.
Who that?
Chief Running Bear Naked. He's now bare naked. His feet are no longer bare. He is fully naked. So we will hear from him and Shaquana Shaniqua Savitase Jones. Because remember, she got married in 2019. She got married in 2019. Are
they supposed to be people we've heard from before?
Right.
Yes, we've heard from them on season number 1.57 of the Dot Comedy Podcast. If you don't remember them very well.
Bluesies Floozies?
Bluesies Floozies. If you do not remember.
That's great. I'm glad.
They're back, goddammit.
They came back to us with different names.
Go fuck yourself. Oh man. But yes, Joey, that song, again, I played that song because he is back, my friends. He is home and he's playing this song. Hey, this is what Bill Cosby's playing as he's getting out of his limo.
Don't do that.
These niggas prayed on my downfall.
Oh, this song.
These
Oh,
niggas
this song.
prayed
Oh
on
my
my
God.
downfall. On R10, bitch, I
stood
stood
tall.
tall. You did? Show these
Disloyal
disloyal
niggas
niggas
how
how
to
to
ball.
ball. Go get a thermometer for the pot. I need this shit.
Bill Cosby's coming home. Goddamn it!
Ah,
Uncle Bill is back. You know why? You know why I'm happy about this, Joey?
what?
You know why I'm happy? I'm happy about Bill Cosby coming home because it was a flagrant misrepresentation of justice for
Oh
Bill
my
Cosby to
God.
ever have been locked up to begin with. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because he paid them already. You can't go back on some payments.
You know what?
He
Okay.
paid them off, so he should have got off. Just Johnny Cochran quoted today: "If the payment goes through, you must let me do." That's what you have to get down with the get down. If you got the wire transfer,
If your bank balance has increased, I must be released.
there you go. See, look at it. That's what I'm talking about right there, Joey LoFaro. Joey LoFaro, Bill Cosby's on his way home, my friend. And how do you feel about it, Joey?
I don't have feelings about it. I don't feel like it's my place to have feelings about it.
Why not? You're an American.
I don't know enough information to feel like I have the right to pass judgment on the situation.
Okay.
The indications that, from what I can gather, is he probably should be in jail. Just on the face of what he's been accused of, and where there's that much smoke, there's probably some fire. But obviously, that's not exactly how things work, and there's a lot of complications. There's a lot of issues with what you can prove, and if it can't be proven, he is entitled to his rights as an American.
If it can't be proven, he gots to be moving.
My God. I can't take this anymore. Listen, how was it, like, what, 50 women that came up and accused him? Like 50. And so
like I said,
they got one, not even proved that one was lying. They coerced, convinced, paid one to say she was lying, probably. And then that knocks a hole in the whole thing.
I don't think that was what happened.
No. I'm talking about before. The reason why he's being released now is because the prosecution mishandled some evidence, or there was some kind of procedural error.
I think there was
the
there was a plea deal that he was offered and then was rescinded?
He was given immunity when he testified in the civil suit, because the lady sued him civilly, and he was given
being released because of a procedural error by the prosecution. Like, they did something wrong.
Yes, that was what the prosecutor. The immunity was with the state's attorney.
Yeah, the judge was required to vacate his conviction because of something that the prosecution fucked up.
Yes, that's exactly what I said, Kandyce. I don't know why you tried to make me wrong.
Okay.
That's exactly what I just damn said. But here's the thing: he was told when he did the deposition that everything he said in there would just be a part of a civil case. So once it was a civil matter and it was put to bed, he could never be charged in criminal court for this. And then everybody wants to come out the woodwork after he trying to buy NBC and say that the man is guilty of raping 947,000 women. I ain't got time for that many women, goddammit. How many nights he did spit?
The problem is the situation that we're in, right? It's, I can understand these women feeling like, okay, well, knowing how this is historically gone, what are the odds? Especially since a lot of them came out with their accusations long after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
They know that there's not enough evidence to get a conviction on their particular case. So then you're in the situation, where it's like, well, filing a civil suit and him settling is the closest thing I might get to justice.
Yes.
And so you could see where they're put in that position where they have to kind of pick and choose between getting something or pushing for what they feel is right. And it's one of those situations where, I don't want to, it's one of those situations where it's just the nature of the way we way our justice system is set up. The problem is it is inconsistent.
True.
Like there's two problems, right? One, there's just this historical backlog of we don't trust the justice system to get it right when it comes to rapists. Like, have a long history of fucking that up, and so there's a distrust there from women. And that speaks to why a lot of them didn't come out sooner. Is that they've seen this movie before and the guy gets away with it. Mm-hmm. But the other side of it, where that usually isn't the case for black people, like Bill Cosby, and so you're kind of in this weird thing where you see both sides of it. There's distrust on both sides. There's distrust of the judicial system to execute justice properly, and then there's also distrust on the other side to not convict someone of something that they can't be proven, which is also something they struggle with. Mm-hmm. And so on the face of it, the principle of innocent until proven guilty is an ideal we supposed to work for. We've done such a bad job at it that no one feels like they can get the right thing. So it creates this scenario where a lot of them felt like the closest thing they were going to be able to get was that settlement.
Okay.
And so it puts you in an impossible situation, because, like, on the one hand, it's like he really shouldn't be walking free, but we can't also, like, again, the thing is, innocent until proven guilty should protect innocent people. And it doesn't seem like it did this time. And just like, at the same time as it doesn't seem like it's protecting the right people, it's also been on the other side. Because on the other side, we've also known people who've gotten convicted that shouldn't have, repeatedly.
Okay.
So,
all right, Joey. So here's where I sit with it, okay? Here's what I believe.
It's like pick your poison.
Here's what I believe. He's coming home because they shouldn't have tried him to begin with. Mm-hmm. He shouldn't have been in jail to begin with, because if the judicial system is set up where these are the rules that you're going to go by. You're going to say, hey, we make an agreement. This is the agreement. We're going to continue to go by that agreement, and that's it. They need to stick to that. Then they put a blind 100-year-old man in jail over some stuff that they already proved he did and didn't prosecute him for 15 to 20 years ago.
It creates a situation where I understand that, and I'm not debating that. It creates a problem where you're stuck in this. How do we get better? How do we do better? Right? Because it doesn't sound like anybody's really happy with what happened.
I am.
But
you know why I'm happy, Joey?
Why? Because
I want to see him walk out of jail and do that little thing he did with the when he was walking down the courtroom the last time he went like. I'm happy. I'm not happy about the rape allegations. That'd be stupid. That's just let's not even start that particular part of the conversation. I'm happy that we've finally shined a light on how the rich in this country could get screwed too, because he was rich when he made this agreement. When he made this deal with the state's attorney, he was rich, and the rich get screwed out of these deals too. So I'm looking at it as we need to, if they're gonna do reform, they need to start looking in the mirror, because it ain't just affecting us, the poor blacks. Because this is when he had his money, so they're gonna come after you when you 90 years old and you're blind, as opposed to when you a 35-year-old Jay-Z and you can keep running these streets.
Well, it comes back to a couple things. Like, one, we need to rebuild the trust there for when around with our when it comes to our judicial system and just rape, period. Because there's that piece, right?
They'll never like come together on that. because you have to be able to start over on both ends. Because the reason there's so much distrust in that area is because of false accusations.
And that's also where that's
the distrust on our end, on not on the women's end. On the women's end is people believing them, but they're not. But people don't believe them because of all the false accusations.
Well, even when they believe them, like you see what happened with like if the rapist is white, like these college kids.
Oh yeah, those kids.
They get off like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's the point of putting myself through this trial if the guy's going to be out in heartbeat? And so you see this kind of like battle where there's a tug of war, and then on the other side, there's also plenty of accusations. So then there's the distrust on the women's end with, I don't even know if I feel comfortable coming forward because I don't know if it's just going to lead to me having like my whole business dragged through the mud. I have to relive my whole trauma. I don't even know if it's going to yield anything positive.
Yeah, true.
And I'm more likely to get something out of a civil trial than I am a criminal trial.
Very true.
Especially from these guys who have power. Then you have, on the other hand, especially for black people, distrust of the prosecution not railroading and the courts not railroading somebody or a false accusation. And I'm not saying that arguing this particular case in any way. It's just there's been so much inconsistency in the way we've handled both. Even if we started doing the right thing today, you're still going to need people that put enough faith in the justice system in these cases.
Yeah.
To say, look at what happened with Bill Cosby. You would have needed women who are like, no, fuck the money. I need, I'm going to be strong. I'm going to be strong and just say, I need to put my faith in the justice system and get something out of it. I'm not saying that women have to do that. I'm saying in order for us to get to the point where we can show growth, someone's going to have to take that leap of faith and say, forget the civil trial. He's going down, or I'm going to die trying.
Maybe they should just stop. You know what you should do? Maybe everything should be civil trials. Everything.
That's not true because some crimes need to be punished capitally.
Why?
I don't
like rape. Like rape, that is something that should have a criminal trial. What do you mean?
No, you should have. I believe that should be a civil trial.
Wow.
If you could prove, and you could sue that person, and that person has to do one or two things: either pay you for the trauma they put you through for the rest of your life.
But oftentimes, the thing is you don't have to. So the whole thing with civil is you don't have to prove anything.
Yeah,
you're going to increase the amount of false accusations because people will settle to get things to go away, even if it seems like it's an admission of guilt.
Well, if he settled and you have to pay, if someone has to pay the rest of your life to pay for someone's trauma, you think they're really going to do that shit? Are they going to try to fight?
It depends on but that's the thing. That's why there's a settlement. It's. Look, you probably don't have enough to win this trial. You can take your chances and go with the jury, or you can take this settlement and let this thing go away and never bring it up again because there's going to be an NDA and all that other shit that goes along with that. And that's exactly what happened here. Hey, look, I'll make sure, I'll pay this amount. You can claim victory, but I better not hear anything about no criminal nothing.
And then they did it anyway.
And they did it. That's where they fucked up. But I don't think that you can. I don't think you could play the civil game. That's getting in. Then you're throwing even more. That's opening up even more fuckery.
True. Yeah, that is true.
Because all that does is enable the rich to just do whatever the fuck they want because they can afford it.
Yeah, I can see that. But my thing is, man, I'm just so.
We just need consistency.
Yeah, but we'll never hit that. We'll never get that as a country.
Well, we need to stop looking at our grading system. The part of the problem is, there's these stats. Like you hear about conviction rate for a prosecutor. Why is that the measuring stick by which it's an elected position, district attorney?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we electing our district attorneys based on how many people they're convicting? That's not. Are they convicting the right people?
True.
That should be the measuring stick, but that's not something we try to like look at carefully. It's the one, the stat that they're always looking for is their conviction rate, and because of that, you get these plea deals, you get these situations where people are trying, they can bully people into sentences. That it's all about what we reward as a metric for a legal system.
I agree, but with me, I think that the system is flawed enough to where things like this are going to continue to happen.
Yeah, until we vote. It's a vote. Like all these people, all the justice system, again, just like government, is people. It's people. It's not a mystery building. It's people. We put the people in office because that's who we vote for. We just need to pay more attention to who we're voting for.
Very true. I agree completely. You know who didn't get a vote?
Felicia Rashad.
The students at Howard University didn't get to vote on their new dean of what is that? Arts and Science. What is she the dean of, Kandyce? You get the alumni newsletter.
Yeah, of Arts and Sciences, I believe.
The dean of Arts and Sciences.
Because she spoke out she spoke out in support of her longtime friend Bill Cosby, right?
There you go.
But I think it was tone deaf. It was very tone deaf to come out and be like, thank God justice has been served. He's been released. Like, oh my God, you are so this man has 50 accusers. What about them? Right? So it kind of sounds like she's speaking against women when she was speaking for her friend.
Yeah, and that's what the what was the tweet? What tweet did she put? What was the tweet, Joey?
She said, I fully support survivors of sexual assault coming forward. My post is in no way intended to be insensitive to their truth. Personally, I know from friends and family that such abuse has a lifelong residual effects. My heartfelt wish is for healing.
What was her original post?
I don't have that yet.
I think it's gone. She took it down. But it basically said something like justice has finally been served or something.
Yes.
Something to that along those lines.
She said that, but the thing is, justice has been served because he was railroaded. Was she lying? No. So everybody coming up in arms she's not lying about the situation. She has a different set of glasses than everybody else because she's been close to him for years. She's been his TV wife for what, 50 years now? How long? What was the Cosby Show on?
I don't know.
In the 80s.
87?
On Viv came out and came at her over it.
Black on Viv need to sit her silly ass down. She just got back in the good graces of everybody. She just sit her silly ass down and stop fucking with Felicia Rashad.
It wasn't her fault, though.
She need to leave Felicia Rashad alone.
Let me give you Felicia's original quote. It said, finally, with 3 exclamation points. A terrible wrong is being righted. A miscarriage of justice is corrected.
Oof.
So that's what she posted when it was announced that Bill Cosby would be released.
Fine. All true
that
statements.
Don't taste right.
It's all true statements, man.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's one of those things that it don't hit right.
Is that raisins in the
yes.
potato salad?
Yes.
Is that raisins?
So when she says a terrible wrong has been righted, a miscarriage of justice is corrected, she is implying or maybe directly stating that I do not believe this man is guilty. All those women were lying. He was wrongly convicted.
That is not what she said.
That's what this translates to.
No, it don't. You're reading. You're doing that HU stuff. You're doing that weird African American studies nonsense. You all have this bias against people when they speak truth. She is saying point blank. Period. I can read every line of that and tell you exactly what she's saying. Her friend was wrongfully accused. I'm sorry, wrongfully convicted of a crime that he should not have been put on trial for. So finally, a miscarriage of justice has been corrected. And my boy, Big Dollar Bill, is on his way home.
I can understand her exuberance over that from that perspective, inventing it. But publicly, being a public figure, you need to have some self-awareness. and optics do matter. Perception is reality, and you are looked up to by a lot of people, especially everyone at HU that just became in charge of, essentially.
Especially women look up to her.
Yeah.
Especially women. So that was a horrible tone deaf statement.
But if it wasn't for Bill Cosby, none of them women would be in college.
Here's so on the subject.
That's what
What
I've
the
said.
fuck?
Aunt Viv.
It's true. I've heard it from enough women in my life that said they would, if it wasn't for the Cosby Show, they never would have went. They never would have thought about going to college.
Oh my God!
So Bill Cosby put all those black women in college. They should have a little more love for him. I know I ain't gonna get that from Kandyce because white men and stuff. They brainwashed.
You ain't gonna get it from Aunt Viv. She said, "Felicia, what are you thinking? I don't know you, but to say this was terribly wrong. Everyone knew what he was doing back then. How could you not? Get your umbrella, sister. Here comes a shit shower. I am outraged that he has been released. Yes, he is an old ass guilty man." Then she also said, "I would have said he's old, he's out, and I'm happy for him, but he's still guilty. I know 5 women who have not come forward. Enough. Y'all, we know better. Powerful men do wrong things, black or white."
Okay, she's
I don't
right.
see any problem with her statement.
I don't see it. I don't see an issue. I don't have an issue with her statement as it sits. Listen, I agree completely. I know Bill Cosby.
Aunt Viv. Aunt Viv was gonna fuck that up.
I know Bill Cosby.
Was it the black Aunt Viv or the light skin Aunt Viv?
Black
Aunt Viv.
Oh, okay.
Janet Hubert.
Call her Black Aunt Viv the rest of her goddamn life. That's what we're gonna do with her
when her career stopped.
But I believe that everything she said is true.
Will Smith is a powerful man who did some fucking shit on her.
He didn't do anything to her.
He called her difficult in the 90s.
Was she difficult in the 90s?
Not any more so than anybody else.
If she was difficult, she's difficult. I don't give a damn.
That's how you end a career.
Okay. I'm difficult.
That's why we never heard from her again after the Fresh Prince.
Well, we never heard from her. She ain't try.
No, she was basically blacklisted by a statement that Will arbitrarily made, saying that she was hard to work with.
She could have worked in all of Tyler Perry's movies. Guarantee.
She probably could have.
She could have got jobs at Tyler Perry Studios years beforehand. I fucking guarantee. I don't give a damn how you cut it. She didn't go down the lane she could have chose. She could have chose a bunch of other lanes.
There's a lot there, but I mean, you got to think of the time.
He said it. Yeah, he said it, and Will admitted it. Will said he didn't know.
Will admitted he was wrong.
He didn't know. He admitted he was wrong. So I'm not even jumping on that wagon. I watched the documentary. Yeah. I saw her come out and hug Carlton and hug little Nicky and everybody else, even though she ain't never meet him. She's still trying to figure that shit out. She ain't never meet the little nigga, but she hugged him at the reunion, and everybody was happy. All right, well, whatever. But okay, Janice Hubert, I agree with you. Bill Cosby did indeed have misappropriated sexual relations with those women.
Misappropriated.
Unappropriate.
I think he meant inappropriate.
Inappropriate sexual relations, yes. With that woman, Miss Lewinsky. But I don't believe he shouldn't have been in jail because he had an agreement. Mm-hmm. This is the miscarriage of justice.
Mm.
So you believe that he was sexually assaulting women, but you also believe that he shouldn't have been in jail? I don't understand.
I don't believe
he believes based on the facts of the agreement legally that he shouldn't have been in jail because the agreement was that he wouldn't have to go to jail.
Because he paid them off and he wouldn't have to go to jail.
Because that was the deal that was accepted.
The deal that was accepted by the woman.
You can't,
you double dipping.
By all of them?
It was one chick.
The other ones didn't have it.
He had 50 accusers.
But
yes,
but they didn't have it.
They don't have cases.
Not all of them had enough for a case.
Only one accuser had a room for a case, and that was the one that was closest to the date.
You need, burden of proof is on the prosecution.
Yes.
They only can carry forward criminally the cases in which they have enough evidence to convict. given that a number of these things happened decades ago and weren't reported, a lot of that evidence is long gone.
And they used his his deposition from one of those civil cases against him.
Deposition.
I apologize. They used his deposition against him, but that was supposed to be sealed per the agreement after the civil suit was closed. So they did everything wrong in this case.
So there's a difference between should he have been in jail for what he had allegedly done. If he did it, yes. Should he be in jail based on what the output of the court was? No.
There you go. Do you agree or disagree, Candace?
I mean, that's not debatable.
Should be thrown under the jail. So I don't care what the fucking specifics are. He raped several women, and he doesn't deserve to be free.
Let's work this out. Let's work this backwards, okay? Because now I'm starting to get to a point where everybody keeps saying rape. He had sex with these women.
Oh my God.
Okay. Now, the sex he had with these women was under the influence in the 70s and 80s when they used to do a lot of that shit. They went to his room willingly. For what reason? To read scripts at midnight? What were you going to his room at midnight for?
It doesn't fucking matter, Marcus. I don't care what time they were there. I don't care what they wore. I don't care what they did.
I never said they wore.
They did not want to be drugged, sedated, and raped.
Okay. There's no consensus in this because I don't look at it from that point of view. I can't.
What other point of view is it? A person who is unconscious cannot give consent.
And there's a difference in the type of drugs he was giving them. And it wasn't like he was taking them too. Like, oh, crazy stuff happened.
No, okay. Exactly.
And the person who stayed in their room couldn't have got raped either. So I don't know what.
But that's not.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Candace left. Candace left.
That's not.
I understand. That's not here nor there. And I would be Bill Cosby would be dead if it was my daughter. And I agree. Yeah. But the fact is, all of these were civilly turned over. It's not like we sat there and went, okay, no one ever went to the cops about this. We knew in the black community what he did. We knew at Hollywood knew what he was doing. Hollywood knew the culture of what they were doing. No one ever stopped him from doing any of this shit. But now we want to put him in jail behind some shit that everyone should be in jail. Everyone's fucking complacent about it.
Well, I mean, if you make by that argument, then we never should do better than we've been doing. You got to start somewhere.
So does it start with a 90-year-old man going to jail?
I guess if that's if we could prove, I mean, I'm not saying like, look, again, whatever you can do with what's in the court's hands, that's on the prosecution that fucked up. And if there's, that's a separate situation to me. Is that there's two pieces, right? There's like the moral side and there's the legal side. Morally, I think there's no debate. He should be in prison. At least based on, again, there's so many accusations. As you say, so many people are aware that it seems almost certain that had occurred. So based on that, morally, yes, he should be in jail. But that's
he's not alone.
But our legal system isn't based on morals.
But he's not alone in this.
He's not.
And that's the issue with the whole thing is he wasn't. It wasn't like he was the only one doing this.
But you can only get the ones you can get. Is my point.
See, that's
how our legal system is set up.
All right, it's shitty.
You can only get the ones you can prove by evidence. And again, it goes back to what I was saying before, where again, if we had a better track record, more women would feel comfortable coming forward right away when the evidence is there to do something with it.
I agree. I agree.
But because they've historically done such a shitty job with it, they're more likely to just get embarrassed publicly, and then the person gets off anyway, and then they get labeled as a liar and a person who does false accusations. Meanwhile, they've also been raped, so now they have to carry a black eye for something that they didn't do because they're being accused of false accusation.
And
someone got acquitted because they couldn't prove it.
And I've never said that anyone should be in that situation. But I look at it from the punitive damage that has already been delved out, civil suits that have all been paid, and all these people want to come back on those same suits. That's where I run into the issue with the whole thing. The system is flawed completely. So everyone's using their different pieces of it to make it work for them. And that's, hey, if that's what gets you through the night, that's fine.
I think you just need to take into account it is what it is at this point. If you feel like he should still be in jail, then
nope.
Then pay more attention to what happens in your next election, and make sure that you have the right prosecutors and right judges in place for the judicial system to work appropriately and work properly.
I agree.
In your mind, that's all. That's what that should be the lesson we take away from this.
I agree, and I apologize. I apologize for what I stated earlier. I made a statement that was inappropriate, and I can acquiesce to that because at the end of the day, I'm a human being, and I get in emotional conversations, and I just blurt out shit sometimes. But again, I do apologize to anyone who took offense to what I did state. So that's not what the click will be. I know how clickbait works, Joey. When they cancel us, this will be the cut up will be what I said wrong, not what I apologized for moments later. I understand that completely, and I will stand on it. But at the end of the day, I do apologize for offending anyone if I did offend anyone. Looks like I did offend someone. All right, so let's move on, Joe. Let's move on. What's next in the world, Joey? You want to take a break?
I think we might need to take a break. Did we find Kandyce? Did we? No, she's still gone.
She's still gone.
Okay.
You want to take a break and reach out?
Let's take a break. Regroup.
Want to regroup? I got you. All right, let's take a quick break on That Comedy Podcast. It's gotten too heated. We shouldn't talk about shit like this, Joey.
I had that feeling.
We should stick to dick jokes.
This wasn't my topic.
We should just stick to dick jokes. It's easier that way. But we'll talk about that and a whole lot more. We got dicks out there, Joey. You know, dicks are out there swinging.
No. I don't want to do that.
You want to talk about that one? All right, we'll talk about all that and a whole lot more coming up on the That Comedy Podcast.
She live a whole life like TV. She would do anything for everything. A regular girl, celebrity dreams. She is Miss Rodeo. Tell me where your day go. Part-time waitress. She really want.
I don't think she's. Is that worth it at this point? How are we gonna do this? Yes. How are we not gonna be live? She wanna live, but she ain't really tripping. She's on Beverly Hills, and she throws up whatever she eat. She leave the bathroom with a nosebleed. A regular girl, celebrity dreams. She is. She live a whole life like TV, and she do anything for everything. A regular girl, celebrity dreams. She is. Just another day out in Beverly Hills. She sing, model, and dance, so can't sit still. Believe in the. And
we're back in the That Comedy Podcast. This segment of the That Comedy Podcast is brought to you by Guitar Center. Damn it, Joey. I'm gonna cut this whole fucking thing out. Okay. Oh, there she is. And we're back at the That Comedy Podcast. I am your host, DJ Marcus. And this segment of the That Comedy Podcast is brought to you by Atomic Music. Looking to start your own podcast? Looking to start your own band? Come by Atomic Music. They've got all the equipment you need at a discounted price. Maybe you'll find some gems in there. The Comedy Team's found numerous items in there that'll help you and your family and your friends get started on whatever project you want to do. Atomic Music, Beltsville, Maryland. And we're back, folks. I'm DJ Marcus, Joey LoFaro. We're joined back by Kandyce August. Hello, Kandyce.
I'm going to make a statement and then we'll move forward.
Okay, go ahead.
This is the reason why it took those women 50 fucking years to come forward, because of ignorant, insensitive, male-centric rape culture fucking attitudes like that. They don't have to stay in their room. They don't have to wear anything. They don't have to say anything. Women should not be raped, period. End of story. That was such a ridiculous thing for someone who is the father of a daughter to say. I cannot believe you.
Okay. I can respond to that. And as I stated moments ago, thinking quickly, thinking uneducatedly, I made that statement. I don't believe any woman should ever be raped. That is not in any Marcus variation of belief. Because at the end of the day, that's not how the world works. I do not believe that any of those women should have been put in that situation at all. And I do believe, as I stated, that Bill Cosby did deserve to be in jail for the crimes he did commit. Because he did commit crimes. He admitted to committing those crimes. But our justice system is not designed to prosecute at certain times when they should. Do I believe anyone deserved anything that happened to them? No. And I will apologize for that profusely because I understand the hurt that comes behind that. I'm not a misogynist in that way. I do not believe that it is proper in any way, shape, or form to demean women in that way, in that manner. And I apologize for the statement I made at a quick moment of stupidity. And I will apologize to anyone who may ask for it if it comes to that. And I will leave it there. And I will no longer address it as such.
I don't want you to be on an apology tour because you feel like you should. I want you to understand how outrageously insensitive you're being about the topic. Because I don't think you really do. I don't think you're really processing it.
Okay. Here's the problem I have with that. And it's the problem I have with most of the time when things like this happen. I say what I mean 99% of the time. The only time there may be a cover up on something is if it's something that I feel embarrassed about or something that I'm just being silly about. But more times than not, I'm a very truthful person. So if I say that I don't feel that way, that's the truth. Being told how I feel is not how anyone ever gets through to me. Anyone ever has conversations with me. So if you want to have the conversation, we got to have the conversation. But if you want to tell me how I feel on this side of the conversation, that's not fair. Because I'm not telling you how to feel.
I want to have a conversation with you. Absolutely not.
I'm not telling you how to feel.
On to the next topic.
I think I can appreciate where both of you are coming from. I understand the feelings in the sense that, like, absolutely, like, Kandyce, I 100% agree with you. Like that type of that line of logic is exactly how we got to the distrust we were talking about earlier. Pointed that out multiple times.
Yes, you did.
At the same time, it's one of those things where we get in this tug of war with how do we learn if people who have that like don't understand and have that gap, because you're talking about the insensitivity, and anytime you have insensitivity, there's a knowledge gap, there's ignorance. It's ignorance, and it's a lot of times it's ignorance because it's a lack of experience that you can't replicate. Being a man, that's something that is hard for, and you have to really be paying attention to pick up on some of these things. It takes time. It's hard to, in this exact moment, expect that to come 180 and be genuine about it, I think is what Marcus is trying to say. But I think we can help him get there because he admits that he is being insensitive, understanding the gravity of that and where we need to get to is a next step. Pushing for it in this moment is unrealistic because you're asking him to say something where I don't think he can get there that quick. So it might take steps. And I agree with you, is one of those things where it's like, oh my God, this should not be something the battle we're still fighting in 2021.
Oh my God, it's fucking exhausting.
Right.
It's such a simple thing that people just don't process. And it's because it's not a life or a reality that you as a man have to live on a daily basis, to be constantly afraid for your safety in what should be the most innocuous of situations. You know what I mean? And I can definitely identify with these women, especially because I drink so goddamn much. Somebody drug me and raped me. That could happen. That is a real life situation that could happen to me. I'm scared all the time. And then you could say, you know what? Stop drinking, you drunk bitch. Okay, guess what? Well, I'm also scared when I'm stone sober walking from the mall into a dark parking garage. Rape is a constant fear for women, a constant real danger that we feel all the time. And just because you don't feel it doesn't mean that doesn't mean it's a joke. Oh, well, just stay away from dangerous situations and you won't get raped. That's not how life works.
No, it's not. But to that point, like, this is something that I thank you for sharing that, because that's how we get that. That's how we close that knowledge gap, right? Like, this has been kind of, I think, the tug of war, because I think there's a lot of you, like, I can admit, when I was younger, there was a lot of this that because of the culture we've had around this and kind of the way that it's been put through media and the way we're exposed to it, we haven't get to this point now where we're actually listening. For like my whole childhood, we weren't listening. It was popular pop culture put that onus on the women, and you grow up in that, and that's kind of what you grow up in. So it does take a minute to, and this is again, this is a generational shift that we're in the middle of. It is part of that, like, okay, we just started listening. We're just starting to hear these stories, and we're just starting to understand that this isn't the one crazy person. This isn't the one random accusation. Usually, every time there's an accusation, there's 5 you don't hear about. It's a lot like it is, and we've had the same battle. We're having the same battle with mental health. Think about that, like, for every like suicide or that you hear someone had an attempt, there's probably several that actually went through with it because you didn't hear about it because they actually went through with it. They didn't ask for help. And we've been learning as a group to listen more, but you're coming from years and years of the opposite, being raised with the opposite, being raised with the putting all the accountability on the people who are struggling. And that's in everything. It's not just, it's with women, it's with mental health, it's with Black people too. And so, as men, we need to do better and listen first, because the men have been talking for so long that we haven't been able to hear the women. And that's where I think that gap comes from. As I talk too much. But if you disagree, I'd rather hear you. Hear your if I'm on. Am I making sense, or do I sound like I'm part? I don't want to be part of the problem here. I'm trying to give voice to how we got here.
No, I know exactly how we got here. But you would think there's been enough exposure to sexual assault and enough conversation about the issue that people are starting to at least shed their layers of ignorance, starting to at least open their eyes a tiny bit. And from the conversation that we're having today, it seems like maybe we haven't made any progress at all.
Okay. I'm going to. I understand where you're coming from, Kandyce. This is not me. This is not a. It's not a patronizing situation. I understand what you're saying to me. The fact is, if I'm going to continue to change in any way, I have to know where I have to change. I have to know where and have these difficult conversations, these horrifying conversations, these unnerving conversations, so that I can go, okay, you know what? You still have these spots in you that come out. You may think you're more evolved than you are in this moment. And again, an unevolved person said exactly what I said earlier, because that's the same thing that the mantra that we've heard since we were little. I don't blame anyone except for the person who is at fault for these crimes. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not an apologist for that person. Do I want to be a better person so that I can not say those things? Sure. But I still know that is a part of how I grew up. So it's still a part of me. But I need to say it, be corrected, and move forward. You have done so. And I'm willing to move forward and learn. Hey, that's not how your mind should work. That's not the thought process you should have in these situations. Get that. But I'm also a person who has to be taught these things. Our expectation is that people just know because it's been so long. No, it's still in the back of people's minds. You can be as forward thinking as you want to be. There's still racist thoughts in the back of Joey's mind. Joey may be the most woke human being on earth that I know. But I still know he has those racist thoughts in the back of his mind. Racist, sexist, chauvinistic thoughts in the back of his mind too. But those are things that have to be taught out of us too. That's simple for me.
So let's make a statement for those that need to be educated. Mm-hmm. I would like to say this to anyone who is listening, in case you have any doubt or any kind of confusion. Women do not get raped because they wore the wrong thing. Women do not get raped because they said the wrong thing. Women do not get raped because they showed up at a hotel past a specific curfew. Women get raped because rapists exist. We should not victim blame. Okay, that's number one. And number two, I would like men to know that women are in a very clear and present, very real danger all the time, almost. And even if you aren't, you feel like you are all the time for sexual assault. So if you could just take those two things and know, and just kind of take some time and process them, that women always feel that they're in danger, and most of the time they probably are, and that there is nothing that a woman has done to cause this to happen. It happens because predators exist. And start from that platform and build your belief from there, then I think that the tolerance that everybody wants and the awareness that we need can grow from there.
And I would say challenge yourself to be open to the possibility that to not be resistant to when these things happen, to when you hear these stories. I know in my experience, one of the biggest wake up calls I have had is just hearing about people that I've met and hearing about stories about them. And your first reaction is, I know that person. And generally it's hard to reconcile, well, that person's always been cool to me, so I have trouble processing that that person's not a good person, or that they have, that they've done something like this. And that resistance hinders that growth. And that's where, that's really what one of the biggest stumbling blocks with this over the past decades and decades has been, my friend couldn't have done those things. And the people around it deny. And it's not just with women. I mean, you see the same thing with you look back at what the whole Sandusky thing, and how many people knew about it and kept trying to, make excuses, turn a blind eye. And we've seen this pattern before. It's not just with women. It's we don't want to accept the possibility that the person we know has done something wrong. And that's what's contributed so much to why this is so difficult. Because a lot of times the person, is a guy, and you're the guy. And so you're more likely to believe the person you know than the person you don't know.
And that's looking at it from the side of the accused. If you look at it from the side of the accuser, statistically, all of the women that if they're over the age of 8, all the adult women that most or all of them have experienced some sort of sexual assault or sexual harassment in their life. Most to all. So,
and that's the thing. You don't hear, because just because you don't hear them doesn't mean it's not happening.
Exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make. So someone very close to you is listening, and they're hearing when you do things like defend a known rapist or say, well, they shouldn't have shown up in this hotel room. Because the chances are all or most of the adult women in your life have been assaulted at some time or another. And they are listening when you make these types of statements. And they are thinking, wow, I can never tell them what happened to me. Wow, I can never come to you to tell you about this person who just raped me, because look how you feel.
Yep. And that's how we, that's not just how we got here, but that's how we got here, right?
Okay. See what I'm the battle in my head is the fight. The battle in my head is the fight for. I'm not going to be accused of being anything.
I'm not talking. No. I'm not accused of anything.
This is and again, that's
generally
that's the battle in my head.
Okay,
that's the battle in my head. That's what. I'm not opening this up to the audience on this one. But that's the battle inside of me. I get what you're saying, Kandyce, and I understand completely that that value of being able to tell someone you trust when they have these beliefs that go against what you feel they should believe is strong, and I understand that. I'm not here I'm not here taking moral high ground on anything that's happened in the last hour of this show. Am I defending his actions? No. William Cosby raped 50 plus women. He did that. Should he be in jail for raping those 50 plus women? Yes. He's a serial rapist. I don't see any problem with putting him in jail for that crime. Not one bit. No buts, no ands, no ifs. I'm sitting here as a person who is not going to learn what should and should not be said to understand others. Mm-hmm. Because I expect the same from other people when they deal with me. No one knows the trauma in anyone's life that they deal with. No one. Your fears and your trepidation and your apprehension about what you can and can't do. I'm speaking to ladies in our audience about this. I don't know them because I don't go through them. But I want you to understand that I do not see, I would say I do not blame you for these situations. But I know I've said blameful rhetoric. I am not here as a social justice warrior to put people on display and tell you, oh, this person is horrible, this person is bad. That's not for me to do. My job is to entertain as best I can. And when it's not entertaining, be told that sucked. Find something else to do. We went down a deep rabbit hole here that needed to be gone now. Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna sit here and go, oh man, I can't believe we did this. This is railroaded our show. Sometimes it's not all fun. Mm-hmm. It's not it, and I hope that the people who are hurt, if anyone was hurt by what I said, that they find healing. If they were hurt personally by what I said, if they know me personally, you can speak to me about anything. Everyone who knows me knows that. I am not here to hurt people. That's not the job of the Dot Comedy Podcast. That's not the job of DJ Marcus. I am simply here to tell what's going on in this world from a comedic standpoint. And if it ain't funny, let me know.
I mean, ultimately, we like to think that we're trying to help heal things, but sometimes you got to do surgery so you can heal.
I agree.
Can you take a break?
What do y'all want to do behind that?
Let's take a break.
You want to take a break?
Let's take a break.
All right. Take a break and we'll come back with, I guess, more.
looking at me. Look at that, look at how they're looking at me. Eyes all sticking like honey on bees.
Yeah,
Look at that, look at how they're looking at me.
DC chillin', PG chillin'. My name Wale, and I came to get it, came to get it, came to get it. My name Wale. Shit.
And this segment of That Comedy Podcast is brought to you by the That Comedy Podcast. We can only represent ourselves in this world. The That Comedy team is here with you each week, every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. We are here for your comedic fun. So join us live on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Anywhere you find live video, you'll find the That Comedy Podcast. And we're back, Joey. We got into it there.
Yep. It's all right.
It happens.
Come back.
We can. It's not impossible.
You know who I'm hoping we has the king of all comebacks?
Who's that, Joey LoFaro?
Sha'Carri Richardson.
Sha'Carri?
Sha'Carri, we're celebrating her.
Yes, last week we were.
And this week, she got suspended for 1 month after a failed drug test. This will be the first. This will be an quote she said Friday on the Today Show. She said, "This will be the last time the Olympics don't see Sha'Carri Richardson."
Okay.
She failed a drug test for THC, which is a banned substance, admitting that she basically found out that a family member had died via an interview. And
not a family member, her mother.
Her mother. So it took a bit of a toll on her. She toked up.
Yeah.
And owned up for it. And she's admitted to taking full responsibility for her actions. At the same time, it's like, why is this banned?
Why is THC banned or why marijuana is banned?
Why is marijuana banned? Why is THC banned from the Olympics?
Racism.
Because it's not legal in all states. It's not like federally legal. And the Olympics is a national,
an international,
not the Nebraska Olympics, right? She's representing our nation, and it's not legal in the nation just yet.
I don't think it would matter if it's illegal in the nation. It's the international community too that has to be okay with it.
Sign off on it.
Because I think for most of the sports that are within the U.S., it's no longer a banned substance.
No? Oh, yeah, it is. It's still banned.
It's still banned? I thought they were phasing that out. I mean, it still hasn't gone nationally, but the reason it's still a class 1 substance, so it's still banned for. But it's private enterprise, so it's up to them to decide how they want to handle it.
Not true. That's why it's still state. The states still have their rights to handle those situations.
Right, but it's up to the NBA, the NFL, the MLB to decide if they want to test for it anyway.
Yes, true.
They don't have to test for it. If it's not a banned substance, why are you testing for it?
Okay, it's banned by the Olympic Committee.
It clearly is. And the thing is that even if the U.S. wants to lobby on her behalf, we don't really have any legs to stand on considering the way we've treated the use of the substance over the past, it went from like the vilified of the vilifieds in the 90s to it was the gateway drug. At least that's what McGruff told me.
I don't know if I should say happy about the fact, but I guess pleased that when Michael Phelps got caught smoking weed, he was penalized as well. So this is not like a black thing. It's not a woman thing. Like, Michael Phelps got caught with weed. He lost his Kellogg sponsorship. The U.S. swimming team took away his financial sponsorship. And he got, I want to say, like a 30-day or 60-day suspension or whatever. But he was harshly punished as well. So I can say this is not any kind of a discriminatory practice, or at least it does not seem to be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
The timing was bad for her. He got caught after he competed, and she has gotten caught before.
Yeah.
And and it's not like she's not going to be able to compete. she's a 30-day suspension, which means she's gonna miss some of the beginning.
No, they already ruled her out. It really,
completely.
It came out today. Yeah, they basically pushed up the next person's gonna fill in for her.
Yeah, they filled her spots.
Oh, that's not what they were saying at first. They were saying a 30-day suspension, and she was only gonna miss the 100-meter.
Right.
They fully filled her spots.
They filled her spot for the 100-meter. You know, actually, don't I think that the relay might still be an option.
Was that said that article was fake that you pulled up earlier?
That one article was, but they have filled her spot for the 100-meter. I don't remember if it was said that they when I did a fact checking on there's a fake article out there for those who don't know, alleging that some woman from Utah was running in her place, and it's a joke. It's Rebecca Washington is not a real person, at least not anyone who's ran track or who's anywhere near the Olympics.
CNN reported about 2 hours ago that her suspension ends before relay events. Sha'Carri Richardson left off U.S. Olympic track team. She left out completely.
So she's not going to be able to run relay either?
Yeah, I think.
Fact.
Because I'm not sure they could.
Who suffers? America. Because that's like 3 more medals we could have won if they let that girl go.
I mean, we still have some heavy hitters going anyway, but yeah, I mean, it definitely sucks, especially for something that only comes around every 4 years. I will say, I do think we have some progress from what happened with Michael Phelps in that. I think, didn't Nike maintain their sponsorship with her? I don't think they dropped her.
I didn't see any.
I don't know.
I didn't see any sponsorship drops.
Yeah, I don't. I think that a lot of the sponsors are sticking with her. I get the impression, even the problem is, again, I don't know the international community stance on these things. A lot of times they're ahead of the U.S. on this stuff, but
yeah, she's still backed by Nike.
The U.S. is going to have a hard time lobbying for her on any type of, exception or anything because again,
still
our history.
Yeah.
Well, it's just with our history on and how we've treated people who've been caught using that substance. I mean,
Michael Phelps got a much harsher penalty, and he never tested positive. They just leaked photos of him smoking weed.
Yeah. So, I think that I mean, I can't speak to this. Is one of those problems. This is one of these knowledge gaps. I can't speak to the reaction that I've seen from other people. Mm-hmm. The reaction I've seen has generally been, it sucks. It sucks that this happened. And a lot of people, I think, a lot more people than have in the past understand. I'm sure there are still those out there who are heavily critical of her and are being relentless about it, even in America. It
sucks.
Those people suck. I think anybody can appreciate the situation she was in and understand.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And be understanding. And it's like, is this really preventing her? Is this helping her really win over somebody else?
It's not marijuana is not a performance enhancing drug.
It can help you relieve pain and recover. Maybe
help
that's
recovery,
the best you can argue.
But again, average person smoking pot ain't running no marathons.
Why are we trying to prevent? I don't ever understood that when people are using any these substances to help with recovery, to get healthy. Why would we not encourage that to that point? Because it's like, I understand like ongoing use of performance enhancing drugs is cheating, but just to get healthy, to be able, like, we want the best to be there. We want to see the best go at it. You don't want to see someone miss anything because of an injury, especially athletes who have this like limited shelf life to capitalize on their talent.
I agree. I don't see marijuana as bad as it was when we were little, because it sure was a criminal thing to do. Is smoking weed when we were growing up. You had too many programs telling you not to do that. Mm-hmm. But now it's started its process of becoming a part of everyday life. Mm-hmm. So with this, I don't think she should have been suspended. I don't believe she should have been. It's extreme emotional distress is one of those situations. Her mother just passed. You gotta have some type of thought process in there. Hey, people go through stuff.
The devil's advocate argument is going to be she should have gone to a professional and gotten prescribed antidepressants as opposed to going to an illicit substance. That's what they're going to say.
But antidepressants could affect
way
her
more side effects
as a runner.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's going to be the argument. Yes, she was having a hard time. Yes, she needed something to help cope. There are legal substances for such.
Very true.
Is what they would say.
They don't usually give you substances like that though for grief, temporary.
No, not temporary grief.
Right. Like this is like just the timing and the nature of that. I don't think that I don't get the impression it's something that she's like doing ongoing to deal with this, a perpetual issue.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what those typically are prescribed for. I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's like a moment of weakness type thing.
Yeah. I mean, now I've heard this argument as well, that she's an Olympian.
Mm-hmm.
She knows a drug test.
Mm-hmm.
She knows she's going to the Olympics. What would make you think doing any drug would be okay?
I think
up until the Olympics is over with.
And she's admitted that.
Yeah.
Like everything she said has been, look, I messed up and I'm not going to do it again. And, and she's taken full, like at no point, and that's one of the things that,
she's been an Olympian about this shit.
She's been,
since everything broke. She's taken ownership of it. She said that she's not blaming anyone else for it. And hey, you know what? What damn year is it now? It's 2021. So 2025. Are you doing it every
What's
four?
the point of hating her? Like I don't.
That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand. Like other than like just like
jealousy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all. It's anyone who hates. So anyone who has a negative.
It's either jealousy or racism. It's one of the two.
Pretty much. Oh man, but yeah. So what else is going on, Joe?
There was a officer who tried to who thought he was being slick the other day. There was a occurrence outside
an occurrence. What the fuck is an occurrence?
There was an occurrence outside a courthouse.
Riot?
And no, it was activists were filming a sheriff's deputy during a confrontation.
Okay.
In front of the county courthouse in Oakland, California this week. And the officer realized that he was being recorded and thought, "Oh crap, they're gonna viral video me." So he decided that he would try to prevent this by blasting Taylor Swift's 2014 hit single "Blank Space." Thinking that
I think it's genius. It's pretty clever.
Thinking that it would trigger the automated copyright rules on YouTube and lock down the video.
Block the video. It is a genius move.
This is like the episode of Rick and Morty when he was hanging out with Morty's dragon, and he's like, "Oh, I'll just send him an animated GIF that doesn't mean anything." And Morty looks at his phone and it's just like Taylor Swift pumping her fist in the air. What does that mean?
It is a genius move on his part, but he has to fully understand how the internet works. Just because YouTube blocks it doesn't mean the rest of the internet's going to block that. They're trying, Joey.
Yeah, it didn't work.
They're trying their damnedest.
The video on YouTube has 110,000 views, and it didn't stop anything from on Twitter, because on Twitter it has 680,000 views.
So his plan backfired, but maybe he'll get some tickets to Taylor Swift concert next year. They're like, "Oh, I got a biggest fan. This cop
drew more attention than it needed to."
So now she got more plays on Spotify now.
I mean, the fact that he's trying to get the video to not go up instead of just, hey, if you don't want to get caught doing messed up shit, don't do messed up shit.
You know they can't stop that, Joey. That is not in their. That is not in their mantra.
It's not a good look.
They'll rather skirt the law instead of upholding the law.
The cover-ups never look good. It doesn't matter what you're covering up, even if it's innocuous.
Yeah, it's a weird situation, but hey, he was forward thinking. He may get an accommodation for that from the commissioner.
Speaking of covering up, you know who needs to cover up?
Who's that?
Carrot Top.
Carrot Top. What does he need to cover up? Is wacky
His
get red hair?
Dick.
Oh, his whole.
I don't understand how he didn't get his account suspended, his post blocked. His whole dick was on the internet, like the entire dick. It was out. Like you could see the fucking uncircumcised head right on Instagram.
I'm not Googling it, but is it still up there?
It's still up there, and that's the funniest part about it. It's still there.
Wow.
Kandyce sent that to us, and I looked on his page as soon as Kandyce sent it to us because again, I'm secure in my masculinity. His whole dick just pop out. I've never. He was doing jumping jacks. I'm like, how'd you not know your dick was going to jump out? That's some redheaded hoe shit right there.
Is this because it was 4th of July? Is this like that vegan hot dog thing?
Ew. It was disgusting. Like truthfully, he needed to wear what is that, a jock strap or something?
Was it befreckled?
I don't know. I didn't look that close.
Like bedazzled but befreckled.
We couldn't see all of that. We couldn't see freckles.
Yeah, we weren't that close.
He's the most freckled human being on the planet.
I mean, I would assume there are freckles on it, but the camera wasn't zoomed in like that.
Yeah. I found out I have freckles. You know that?
Those might be moles. You might need to get that checked.
I have freckles. Like if I pull this part of my eye, you can see them like right here and right here. It's kind of weird.
Okay.
But yeah, okay, you ever go to 7-Eleven?
Yes.
All right. You ever look at the hot dogs when they're on the grill and there's that cheeseburger one?
The one the abomination?
Yes.
I've had one of those. It's actually pretty tasty. But it looks disturbing in every way.
You'll never eat one again.
It looks like a hot dog that has cancer.
Don't talk about cancer like that, Joe.
It looks like emphysema dog.
It does. Oh, but yeah, he and then he's running around with some dude. I think is Carrot Top gay? I think that was a thing a while ago.
That is a good question. I'm not certain.
Because I think that was a thing a while ago that he was like either like bi or gay.
He might be. I could see it either way.
Because he was running around with a dude and they kept showing a baby in a stroller and just him and a dude and a baby. And I'm like, what the hell is going on right now? And he's wearing Richard Simmons gear. I'm like, what the fuck is happening with this? But yeah, so he need to keep his dick in. It's 2021. You can't just be running around here with.
The bigger question is, how is he not getting banned? That is white privilege at its finest. Like, how is it still up all this time?
That is the question, Kandyce. Let me go back and see if it's still up. I don't want to see it, but I got for journalistic purposes. I got to make sure this is still the thing. And I think it's gone. Nope, still up. Yo, you got to see this.
This is an outrage.
He looks like the lead singer of Kiss on like a bad day, which like every day for him. But like he looks horrible.
Did you see the
when
nail
has he
polish?
ever not looked horrible?
What was that, Kandyce?
Did you see the nail polish?
Yeah, it just looks the hot goddamn mess.
Yeah, all of this is a mess right now.
He didn't look horrible when he was like all muscle. He was like Cock D's Carrot Top, and everybody was like, "What is he?" He kept swinging that hammer.
There might be something to your possibly he's gay because look in the video. His hat has the rainbow, and like his socks have the rainbow on it.
Yeah, it's a lot of rainbows.
Yeah, he might just be showing solidarity for gay pride, or he may be actually gay.
Or maybe, okay, well, I ain't going down that road. but yeah, it's Carrot Top. What was he funny for? Like, did he have jokes or did he just break
Props.
stuff? Props.
He's a
Prop.
prop comic.
Prop comic. Okay, that's what you should be, Joey.
You should know.
Arguably the most famous prop comic of all time.
Joey should be a prop comic. Don't you think, Candace? He
Why?
come up with a plastic bin full of surprises.
I am a plastic bin full of surprises.
Just start
I am the prop.
throwing snakes and shit at the audience. That'd be funny.
That's
You don't think that'd be
no.
funny?
It'd be sad.
It would be. That'd be the funniest part about it.
There
What
would-
else?
You know what would happen? I would just sit on a box and cry, and someone would start playing "Send in the Clowns,"
Okay.
and then I would die because my heart would break for myself.
Okay. Well, what else is going on in the world, Joey?
So Robert Downey. Speaking of Instagram, Robert Downey Jr. has started unfollowing some people on his Instagram account. And
Okay. It's his Instagram. He can do that.
yeah, fans are worried that it might be that he's like done with Marvel, like done.
Well, he is.
On July 2nd, they noticed that he's no longer following Marvel castmates and colleagues, including Chris Evans, Tom Holland, and Jon Favreau.
Okay.
Did
So
they kill, I don't follow the movies. Did they kill the Iron Man character already?
yeah, he died
Yes.
last movie.
Okay. So that job's over for him. You know how when you quit a job and then you don't talk to those people anymore, like you're only friends with them because they're your coworker?
Well, there's two people. I would agree with that, except that two things. One, they introduced time travel in that movie, so there's nothing saying they can't find a way to bring him back if they want to. Two, he basically built that franchise because he was the original Avenger.
Mhm.
And then three, he unfollowed Jon Favreau, who he's good friends with outside of the movies. Like they've made a number of movies together. They're super close. So to me, I don't think this has anything to do with the movie stuff.
Now here's the question, Joey.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that Robert Downey Jr., being who he is,
Mm-hmm.
actually curates his own Instagram?
Would Tony Stark? Because they're the same person.
Tony Stark would.
Tony Stark wouldn't. Tony Stark would say, "Don't hand me
create
things."
Yeah.
Every time there was phone, they would say, "This happened on your phone." He'd say, "Don't hand that to me."
Bert.
There's others that think that he is likely due to he's focusing on his business and environmental causes rather than his movies, and so he's unfollowing them because he's going to shift the use of his account.
Okay.
And some also speculated that whether he may have a new social media manager. Although I don't see how distancing yourself from any of those three guys is something that's like why. Like I can see
him not wanting to follow Tom Holland.
Like, did any of them do anything?
But Tom Holland, I can of the three, I can see Tom Holland going by the wayside.
Really?
Yeah, Tom Holland's an annoying human being. I've seen him in interviews. He seems like a very annoying human being.
I thought he genuinely liked him.
No,
because they did that the chef show. They had that one episode where they were all eating dinner together. Holland, Favreau, and Robert Downey Jr. were all there.
maybe that's the last time
And Kevin Feige.
he needed to see any of them.
Well, they were all.
Maybe after that, he went home and went, you know what? I'm done with all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
I mean, I don't like the That Comedy Instagram page. Do I follow it? Does DJ Marcus follow That Comedy?
I hope so.
I don't think I do. I think one of my accounts follows it, but not the other one.
That's not a glowing endorsement.
got it.
I follow dot comedy. I would just like to say that.
It's
and both of DJ Marcus's accounts and Joe.
His burner account.
That's the DJ Marcus account. DJ Marcus's burner account is DJ Marcus. Oh man, what else going on, man? You know what, Joey? We're almost done, man. Let's get ready to get out of here. We got some rapid fire things we can hit real quick.
We got some rapid fire things. Recently, Heidi Klum says she and her ex-husband Seal renewed their vows 8 times to try and make their marriage work.
Let me look this up because I think they were only married for 8 years. So they did that shit every year. Hold on, look at that.
Did anyone explain it?
I think
when you got to do it every year from the very beginning.
They did. They renewed their vows annually in an attempt to make their marriage work. I think I got married 8 times to Seal, she said. I thought it would be kind of like fun. I thought it would be a fest of love, Klum continued. But that doesn't work either. I tried. You can't say I didn't try.
When they get divorced?
It's been a minute.
Yeah, because who's Heidi Klum dating?
They tied the knot in 2005.
Yep, they were only married for 8 years. They renewed their vows yearly. Yep.
The divorce was finalized in 2014.
So they've been divorced since 2014. Is she dating somebody?
Probably.
Now let's see. Heidi Klum.
Oh, she got married and remarried in 2020.
Oh, well, I can stop fucking looking now.
Yeah.
So now I've taken marriage classes before, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I was going to get married, but because I wanted to see exactly what these classes were about. Nowhere in the suggested literature anywhere does it say, "Hey, go back every year and say the same shit you said last year to them again."
It just seems
and make it work.
It seems like you're trying to file
an extension. It's like filing an extension on your taxes.
It's like sending memos at work just so that the stuff's documented, so you have your emails when you're trying to get somebody fired.
Your paper trail? Is that
a paper trail?
It was a paper trail.
That's all it was.
It's like you haven't lived up to any of the vows that we keep saying every year.
Because meanwhile, in a healthy relationship, Dwayne Wade is trolling his wife, and they seem to be doing just fine.
Okay. Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union are a couple goals for a couple reasons.
Yeah,
not the dingleberry licking that she does before his games. That was an episode of the Comedy Podcast that we went over previously. But for the fact that they have fun in their relationship,
they do. They
seem like the happiest couple to ever be a couple.
That's also because he lets her lead.
She's in charge, so I guess they're going to be happy. I mean, Kandyce, do you see them as couple goals?
Yeah, they're a great couple. I love it.
Because I look at them when she does shit with the baby on TikTok, and it's hilarious because the baby doesn't like her. You get this sense of the baby just why does this nanny keep bugging me? Because she keeps running away from her and will run to her dad and shit like that. But it just looks like they have such a loving and happy home. And who was trying to step in and mess up this beautiful, lovely home?
Faison Love, of all people, revealed he and Union had a heavy makeout session back in the day. So Wade decided to show his pettiness, posting videos with a compilation of photos of her and him. And the photos were mostly doctored. They were just mostly her and her head and his face on various bodies.
Okay.
Including a scene from Boomerang starring Eddie Murphy and Halle Berry.
Did you ever see the movie Couples Retreat?
I think I saw a part of it.
Kandyce, did you ever see Couples Retreat?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. If you watch Couples Retreat and say that Faison Love at any point in time, that was probably peak Faison Love. Couples Retreat. How the hell did him and Gabrielle Union get in the same fucking room? I didn't know who the hell he knows.
Oh, wait.
And I didn't know how the hell he got to the room to make out with her in the same room because that doesn't make any damn sense.
It gets better. Guess where Faison Love put this out there?
Where?
Kwame Brown show.
See, Kwame Brown starting shit. He just out there in the internet just starting shit everywhere. But I do need to know. I need to know where.
Here it is.
Where they met.
Someone
needs to give me
in the
address.
middle of their talk. Love decided to drop some tea about him and Union unlocking lips. He said, Gabrielle Union and I had a nice kiss in the club. Love named Vince Carter as a witness and told Brown to ask him about that night. He even claimed that everybody know about the infamous Faison Gabby tongue down. When asked to some degree about Union's dating life at that time, Faison offered she was dating me that night. He eventually simply explained they all linked up, saying Carter and Union were going out or something. I don't know what it was. We was getting drunk, and it was an infamous night.
Okay. So she was drunk. And
meanwhile, after Dwayne Wade posted that video, his oldest child commented under it, said, "Somebody tell me what's going on."
Oh my goodness. Anything else going on, Joey?
Not a damn thing.
All right. Well, that's how we get to the end of that. Kandyce, where can they find you at there? You have any shows coming up?
Yeah, I always do. I'm in high demand. So you need to follow me on _Kandyce. That's with the KANDYCE. And I post my gigs on there. And pointless videos about deer every morning. So
deer?
Yeah, she does her morning walk, and she for some reason she keeps finding the same goddamn deer. You know what you should do, Kandyce?
It's a deer population, okay? And they love me. They come out like I'm Snow White in a fucking cartoon.
You ain't feeding them, are you?
Huh? No.
They'll follow you home.
They're wild animals.
They'll follow you home.
They'll kick you if you date. Hey.
They kick you.
They kick.
They let me get kind of close to the younger ones, not the babies, but like I would say like the teenage ones. They let me get really close to them.
Mama gonna come out.
Mm-hmm. Get away from my babies. Oh man,
or whatever the noise they make.
You know what's interesting? I've never seen a buck. Only fawns and does. That's all I ever see. I'm like, where are the male There have to be male deer somewhere because I've seen the babies.
They're in the woods.
They're in Narnia.
The male deer in the woods.
There's a wardrobe deep in the woods, and all the male deer come out of it once a year to mate.
Are they like cicadas?
Oh. All right.
They're like cicadas.
You just accepted that. I don't have a better explanation.
Ken's like, well, okay. Man. So, Joey, can they find you anywhere, man? You got things happening?
I will be at Nottingham's on the 16th of July.
Okay.
In Columbia, Maryland.
All right, man. Well, and DJ Marcus will be, and you know what? I finally decided I gave up the gig at the Ha Hole.
Oh.
It was just too much travel. So I'm looking for a new gig. Remember DJ Marcus, that's spelled with one D and a J, and that's the MARCUS. Why are you confused about that?
Too many letters. Too late.
Too many letters. Oh, man. But it's been real. It's been fun, Joey. It has been another Real.Comedy podcast. And we're going to see you all next week where we will have who on the show, Joey?
Funny lady Nick Snow will be on the program.
Nick Snow will be in the building, but we will see you all next time with more fun and more thrills on the .Comedy podcast.
Slipped right out of my hand, and now I don't really even know who I am. Yo, what do I have to say? Maybe I should do what I have to do to break free, and whatever happens to you.